So now let's move to the next stage, value-based leadership. So you see, we're starting to get to know ourselves a little deeper. Aristotle, my good friend, said, I count him braver, he who overcomes his desires, than him who conquers his enemies. For the hardest victory is the one over the self. So don't focus on other people. Even as you go through this program, don't say, I wish so-and-so was here listening to this. This is meant for you. And if by your behavior you can shift and change and rise up in terms of discipline, whether it's time, money, and even values, that's the most powerful leadership language that you can use for your family, for your team, and even for the board. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live, said Jim Rohn. Why am I talking about the body? Because many high-achieving managers neglect their well-being. And true self-leadership starts with managing yourself. We now know your values, we know your productivity, we know your money management. Let's park that for a moment. And let's look at 5 areas of well-being. The first area is physical well-being. Are you in good health physically? When is the last time you went for a full medical review? Or did you go for the full medical review because there was a deadline and you had to do it? When is the last time you actually checked how your physical well-being tallies with your behaviors every day? When you eat, how much you eat, if you exercise, if you sleep for 8 hours, if you don't, all those things have a connection with physical well-being. The second aspect of well-being is emotional social well-being. That means that how do I manage my emotions? Do I even know my emotions? Because the inability or ability to manage my emotions is what is called emotional intelligence. And once you know how to intelligently recognize your emotions and harness them in a way that truly makes a difference, then you find your social well-being comes into place. So the two are very closely linked, emotional social well-being. The third one is mental professional well-being. What are you reading? Are you reading only aspects that have to do with your career? Or are you reading widely, broadly? Are you investing in what is called cultural intelligence? The ability to know a lot more than just what your career is about. Mental professional well-being. I encourage you, have a book in your hand, in your Kindle, in your car, in your bag. So at any loose moment that you have when you're waiting for someone, waiting for a meeting, read a few pages. I assure you, if you take 10, 15 minutes every day to read a book, you will find you will navigate and read many books cover to cover over a year. The fourth one is financial well-being. We've talked a little bit around that when you looked at your financial assessment. What are you going to do to enhance your well-being? And lastly, spiritual well-being. Leadership is a very spiritual thing. And when it comes to spiritual well-being, it means the ability to manage your self-talk, to look at your beliefs, and to ask yourself, do my commitments match my convictions? So those are 5 areas of well-being. Take care of those 5 areas of well-being, and already you're well on your way to becoming a well-integrated leader. But how can you ensure that you actually keep the momentum? The first thing is what they call fruits of leadership. What are the fruits, and how can you tell the fruits of self-leadership? 1, you master your moods. 2, you watch your words, self-talk and talk to others. What kind of words are you spewing out of your mouth? Because that has to do with the thoughts you have in your mind. The third thing is restraint of reactions. Something happens, you want to lose your temper, you choose to pause and focus on your reaction and ask yourself, am I casting the right light on this situation? The fourth thing is stick to a schedule. Have a timetable, plan your time, and try and close the items that you've opened up. Close the projects that you're working on. The fifth one, manage your money wisely. And the sixth one, maintain well-being in those 5 areas. So ultimately, how do I want us to close this particular segment? The way I want us to close this particular segment is you express the truth of your character with the choice of your actions. Ask yourself, are you ready to truly rise up? And then move to the next level where we'll be talking about accountability.